Hello everyone, and welcome back to Niche, and we are here with our growing tribe that is just beginning to expand almost completely through the starter island, and we probably will actually be migrating pretty quickly here once we can deal with a few lingering genetic issues, but we've had some startling turns of events from the previous episode. First of all, there is the rise of Lara and Nunuku to power, and they are much more of a ruthless kind of if only the strong can belong sort of leaders. They have a much less sympathetic mentality than their parents did. But we also have the birth of our first ever melanistic child, Rarasi. And Rarasi's birth could be a little bit of an upset in the plans of Nunuku and Lara, because you guys have voted and you decided that the tribe, although very, very startled by Rarasi's dark coloration, would actually come to take it as perhaps a sign that there is something special about her and perhaps she should be their next leader. But their current leaders, Lara and Nunuku, are not too happy about that because they want their line to be the leaders. And so a little bit of conflict could start to form. And Lara is actually on her way over here to start banishing some of the creatures that don't have as many good genetics. And I think that Nunuku will probably start doing that soon. As for Rarasi, we'll have to see what she does if and when she comes to power and what this division of power might end up doing. So we will have to see. We're actually kind of at the end of the turn. I think I'm going to have Nunuku come and gather just a few extra berries. We're doing okay on food at the moment. And we may want to start thinking about getting Digging Paw. I want to get Digging Paw, but I also want to get Nimble Fingers in here. So Nimble Fingers gives you the cracking ability, which most of these guys have because of the cracker jaw, but I'd like to try and breed that out because if we look at, oops, that's family tree. If we look at the mutations menu, there are other things that we could look at that gives, so like Cracker Jaw gives 2 smelling. Perhaps we'd want to look into the Big Nose, which gives 3 smelling, or the Poison Fangs, which does drop the smelling, but it gives them venomous, or the Gills, or the Beak. And Lara does have the beak. So it's just something we'd want to look into. And then what does Tarokir have? Tarokir has the Big Nose. So do we have any big nose creatures? We have some that are secondary probably. And unfortunately, Tarokir is about to pass away in light of this very, very startling and confusing turn of events. We're actually about to say goodbye to Tarokir, the father of our melanistic baby Rarasi. And does it? I think it changes her eye color too. Okay, yeah, it does. Because I was going to say, if you could have a melanistic creature with the violet eyes, that would be pretty crazy. That would look amazing. We may have, at some point, I kind of want to experiment with the colors a little bit, and we'll see if because we also have this panda pattern going around that's a little bit more from Lara's line that originally came from the fact that Adam was a panda pattern and Eve had secondary. So we'll have to see how the colors change and develop, and in fact, Rarasi is a panda, it's just hidden by her melanism. So, but it would be cool if it didn't affect the eyes, but I don't know if melanism in real life affects the eyes. I did look up melanism the other day after, or actually, yeah, it was yesterday after this episode to find out if in real life it has any ill health effects. And I was just kind of looking around on the Wikipedia page, and I didn't see potentially any ill effects, but they actually think that in felines, melanism may be tied to certain immunities. And they were actually talking about, and I'd have to go research this in more depth, but they were actually talking about how they thought that was maybe why the Black Panthers in an area survived better than the leopards did, just the straight up leopards that didn't have the melanistic characteristic, because the Black Panthers are usually just melanistic leopards. And the Panthers actually survived better in that area, it seemed. And I'd have to look into it more because they didn't have a lot of info, but it was kind of an interesting subject. That was on the Wikipedia article about melanism. Anyway, though, just kind of an interesting side note, but we have to say goodbye to Tarokir, unfortunately. He is very pretty. I love his violet eyes. I'd like to start getting some of those more into the tribe because that's just the coolest thing. And it goes so well with his fur color, too, but we do have to bid him farewell because it is at the end. He is at the end of his life. So goodbye to Taro Kira. We're going to start a new day. And there he goes. It's always sad when you lose the creatures. Yeah, I know he died. And then a new baby has been born. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And that's just the intro. Oh my gosh. Tanu. Whose line is he from? He's once more from Taro Kira's. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I think he is the brother of Rarasi. And we're going to mark them with blue because they're melanistic. They have similar immunity because I feel like Lara would be getting very concerned about this. And about what this might signify. And she was actually on her way over here to actually kick Lenara out of the tribe because she has no paw, she has short-sighted eyes, she does have good blood genetics, but let me see. Why is it? Oh, we can't because we clicked on her. So, or perhaps, no, I think she would. Oh, Rihanna's actually about to die. Oh, because Rihanna didn't get enough food when she was little. Oh, Rihanna, I'm sorry. I don't think Lara would bother with her in that case because she's actually about to pass away. But she might. I'm trying to see who she would banish. She'd probably be tempted to banish the melanistic babies, but I don't think the rest of the tribe would let her, even though she is one of the alphas. Oh, and we will put, let me get him selected. No, I need to select somebody else so I can select him. Let us put Tanu on alpha as well, because remember, these melanistic creatures have actually been revered for their striking appearance, much to the chagrin of our alphas Lara and Nanuku. And I think the one thing Lara would do is she'd actually kick Relasi off of this nest. Relasi is the mother of the two melanistic children. And would say, your mate just passed away, now you go take his job and gather the berries. And we are adding a little story into this. This is not as complex as animals usually are. Usually it's a lot simpler for them. And Karara will have gather, and Nanuku, I think he's not above gathering, but he's kind of not so keen about it. And she has the decent eyesight. She does have no paw, and she does have secondary hemophilia. But that's only 2 negative traits out of the 3 that we're trying to get rid of. So I think he would tolerate it. And Nuvan actually, unbeknownst to the rest of them, carries melanism, but he himself is not melanistic. So I think Nanuku would start heading back this way because his daughter, Anacola, would actually be coming over here. Now, the one thing they're trying to keep quiet is that they have actually been passing on the short-sighted gene. Nanuku has it, and Lara completely has it. So I think she would probably end up, because Lenara is short-sighted and has no paw, but she does have good blood genetics, so I think she would start to, I think she would make her way back to this nest so that she'll repair the nest, and she and her mate can have another baby, because they want their children to be the heirs, and their children are, if we look at Lara in the family tree, where is she? She's up here. Anacola, Ananala, and then whatever the new baby is. And Nunuku, is getting a little bit older. He doesn't have quite as long to live. He has 6 days left to live because he was damaged when he was young. He faced starvation in his time. So, and I think Rarasi would probably come and sit by her mother and start learning. Oh, and she has the webbed hind legs and the fishing tail. Oh, I didn't even realize that she had the webbed hind legs, and she does have one of these velvet paws. So that's kind of an interesting thing. But I think she would come and start learning from her mother how to gather the berries. And little Tawny will probably follow her. Look at, even his antlers are black. He's just kind of like a shadow sitting there in the nest. And I think that Lara and Nanuku over here are a little bit afraid of these shadow creatures. that they have just encountered. And then Kirta actually over here is an interesting genetic possibility because the orange on his chest signifies that he carries a secondary albinism trait, which could be another thing entirely. So we'll have to see. And there is a nest here, and I think I'll have her come collect this, and we can clear away the grass, and Sienna can continue to gather from this berry bush. I think she'd start making her way up here. Rokirta can come this way. All the ones with the no paw at least get sent away this way. Perhaps because they are also afraid of Lara and her. I feel like Lara is even more unforgiving than Nanuku. I feel like she's the one who'd be more likely to just say, oh, you're no longer beneficial to this tribe, and just kick them out. And Roku here is okay in terms of genetic. We're actually going to bring Dudukvan this way. Those short-sighted eyes are really, really bad. They're causing us a lot of problems. Anala is going to come this way and start clearing the grass. And there are plenty of nests, and we'll actually move Anasi out because I think Lara will start taking this. I think these guys are going to step away from the berry collecting and start focusing on having children, especially with the possibility of Rarasi and Tanu, who may grow up to replace them. And we'll have to see. Lara has 13 days left to live. Nanuku has 6, so she'll have to take a new mate if she wants her line to continue. And let's see. I'm just going to kind of look through, and we're going to lose Rihanna, unfortunately. I'm just looking through our creatures, because some of them do. Kirta has secondary albinism. Some of them have, I think actually, yeah, Rarasi actually does have albinism, and so does Tanu. Tanu has, oh my goodness. Tanu has total albinism. But it doesn't show up because of his melanism. Oh, now that's interesting. That, my friends, is interesting. You have quite the interesting genetics, Relasi. And they have the same immunity. They do have the same immunity, but I almost feel like, are they related? I think they might be siblings. So it was, let's find. So it was Rarasi was the one. And then there's Anasi, who actually didn't get any of the genetics, but is they're also their sister. So Relasi had those, and then Carrara was her mother, I guess. Oh, is Carrara the one we're actually going to lose? No, that's Rihanna. Carrara is the one over here. But okay, let's see. So Relasi, so it would be from Tarokir. So Relasi, and then Kirta. Yeah, they are siblings. And then there's Nuvan, who has secondary albinism, but does not. Oh, or not albinism, melanism. I should mark that. And then Kirta and Relasi are siblings, but I almost want to breed them and see if we can bring out some of those hidden genetics. The melanism was a total accident, but I'm kind of curious now. And let's see. So there's Nuvan, who should have, oh, he does have a blue center gem? Nuvan does, yeah, okay. I guess he did have it and I just didn't see it. So we'll go ahead and we'll start a new day. And we have had another child born to these guys. So I think she'll come here, breed with him, move here. I think Anacola, which is one of their daughters, will start collecting berries. Carrara will continue. Oh, we should check our notifications. We did lose one of our animals. And we did have a new baby born. Oops, let's clear this one. And then we had a new baby born up there. And I guess she mutated a gene. What did she mutate? Oh, she got the good hemophilia gene. So the normal blood clotting. So let's, and then you, my friend, I'm going to start actually bringing Lenara this way because then she can sit between the bushes. And you, my friend Tanu, you can come up here and help your mom. And I think that Rarasi would kind of tell her mom, no, you go, and I'll take your place. And I think these two would kind of take over the berry collecting. And Relasi might come over here and meet up with Kirta, who is her brother. But you can't always be picky in these tribes because they do have similar immunity, but I kind of want to see what happens if we breed them, if we could get that albinism gene. So I think next time we'll try it. I think we'll gather from here, we'll gather this. And she'd kind of, I think, at least want to spend time with her brother. But yeah, in this tribe you can't be picky, and I should be using hearing and scent more. So we do have bunnies, we have these guys that are under there, and then we have quite a few. Do you have no smelling? Oh, you have no smelling. Ooh, that's interesting. I see. Okay. So I think these guys will continue to clear away the grasses. There is a bunny coming this way, and I think she would get that bunny and then clear away the grass over this berry bush. And Carrara, who is the mother of, I think the mother of these guys, Kirta and Relasi, I believe, is over there. And then New Dukvon, you can kind of stay there because we want to keep the island lit up as well. And then Nanuku, I think, would kind of wander off and start and try supervising kind of that in that area. And Anasi, I think, would kind of be curious and come down and help these guys gather berries because they do look a lot like her, but even darker. It's kind of, so she'd kind of probably be more curious and just see. And ooh, we had some of the moles pop up. So I think we'll move Anala out of the nest. And then Lara can come over. She'll kill that stag mole and then come here. And then Nanuku would come. They'll breed again. And Nanuku is coming up on the end of his life. So let's see. Let's get these berries collected. We'll collect these berries. These guys are going to collect these berries. And Tanu, we will mark you with the blue, even though we can clearly see you have melanism. And let's have you keep collecting. And I think, who should we send? Because we want to have somebody over here. I think these guys are going to breed. And she'll come over here and she can gather some. And Relasi, I did put her on alpha, but I think she would be probably on the beta rank by now at least, because of Lara would not tolerate her as alpha. She can't really do much about these two who are alphas, because it's not really her, they didn't even decide, like, it's the rest of the tribe is saying no. They are kind of, the rest of the tribe wants them to be the alphas, and Lara and Nanuku, I think, Nanuku are fighting it. So that's kind of what's going on. And we have, Kirta, you better not step on that travel tile by yourself. So let's see. And I've heard the islands are actually randomized now. So you don't necessarily know what you're going to get. And that's the bunny burrow. That's where the bunnies are coming from. Okay. And there's this mole thing. I think she would come up here and try and get the mole. And she did get the mole. There we go. And I think Lenara would come here. And we'll go ahead, we'll start a new day again. Or I'm going to actually have Kois come down and start clearing some grasses. We have quite a bit of nesting material now. And, oh, and all the bushes have grown back. That's good. Ooh! Anala! Anala, how does your father? Oh. I think Anala, we're going to put her on alpha because I think she has a very unique trait that she got recessively from her father, which is the poison fang. And I think we'll make sure we get these berries collected. I think that that Lara would kind of be saying, look, my child has a unique trait as well. Let us make her the alpha and not these imposters over here, kind of referring to Rarasi and her brother, Tanu. So I think she would kind of be acting, quickly trying to cover for it, and I think she would quickly say, and I think she would quickly go and have another child with Nanuku, because he is getting older. He only has a few days left to live. He was injured, and we don't have access to the healing plants. So, and then Anala, who I think, is it? Wait, I'm confused. Hold on. Anala, and then there's Ananala, okay. Anala, I think it is, actually, who does have pretty good genetics. And let's look. Where is she? Ananala is also Lara and Nanuku's child. So, of course, they're not going to banish any of their children either. And thankfully, we don't have many that still have the no paw, because that is a trait we are trying to breed out. And let's, we'll come this way. I don't like that darkness, but we got to get these berries. And here in the shelter of the trees, we have had a child born. Oh, and let's look at this. Uh-oh, who is sick? Let's see, who's sick? Is it not going to let us show who's sick? Or is it the baby? It might be the baby. Oh, Honorella. Aw, she's sick. Oh, dear. And it's because she has the same immunity gene. So that is one downside of these ones. She does, however, have melanism and albinism. And I think Relasi would come over here and they would breed again, and she'd make another nest. And they can finish off clearing up that grass. And then Kois might come up here and decide to help with the berry collecting, I think. And Nuvan would probably come over and also help collect berries. And we kind of have this dark rift through the island now. That's probably not such a good thing. But, and then let's have... Do we have 2 Analas? We have 2 Analas, so, we're going to change her name to Anara. Anara. And then I think... Do we get Anala? Anala is on Alpha. So once Lara and Nanuku pass away, they are going to try and push for Anala to be the new Alpha. But then the rest of the tribe, or a lot of them, want Tanu and Marasi to be the new Alphas. So that's kind of setting up for a little bit of a potential power struggle. And let's have Anara come this way. She doesn't have very good movement. Oh, she really doesn't. She's not going to be... I think her parents maybe are not so pleased with her, because she does have 2 velvet paws, so she's very stealthy, but she has the webbed hind legs, and she only has 1 movement, and so I feel like her parents probably kind of frown on her and try and kind of keep her hidden from the rest of the tribe, which isn't good. It's not nice, but Nanuku and Lara are quite vain and quite conceited and proud of the fact that most of their children, like Anala here, have excellent genetics. Normal eyes, no hemophilia. She does have velvet paws. She does have pretty low movement, but she does have pretty low movement. But she at least has good traits otherwise. So she has a lot of good traits. And I think they're very much trying to put that forward, and they're very proud of their, quote, perfect genetics. Whereas they tend to see ones like Rarasi and Tanu as impure for whatever this strange darkness that they don't understand is. Although the rest of the tribe reveres it. So we'll go ahead, we'll do one last turn, and then we'll wrap up the episode. And we'll probably be moving on to the next island pretty soon. And we will be bringing representatives from both tribes. And oh, again! An Anakome! Anakome does have 1 recessive short-sighted. She has a spiky body, and she has runner legs. So how much speed? She only has 2 as well. So she's a little bit less so, but I think they'd be trying to put forward these 2 sisters. Wait, were they allowed to? Oh, to attack the nest. That was what it was. It almost looked like they were saying they could attack her, but no. They were saying she could attack this nest. But we're not going to do that. We'll keep gathering. And I think the rain may make sickness more likely. I'm not sure, though. We'll clear away this grass and then keep gathering. Keep gathering. keep gathering. And I think we'll move Verlassi. Oh, no. Oh, shoot. I wanted to move Honorilla out of the nest. And she does have pretty good genetics. And then we'll put Verlassi here and breed them. And she does have bad immunity, though, is the one thing. And then Macy has, the purple eyes. She doesn't have pattern. She has secondary melanism. And she does have hemophilia, and she does have blind eyes, which is not so good. And one of them is sick. We saw that last time. A new baby has been born. A new baby has been born over here. And one of them had... Okay, it's raining. The bushes are regrowing. And... Oh, is the baby born here? So it was... Oh, yeah, it was Anala. I guess we didn't clear that alert. Okay. Because she mutated in, I think it was, oops. No, that's Nunuku. I want to, here, let's click over here. It was the normal eyesight. Meanwhile, Rarasi and Tanu are continuing their duties as humble berry collectors for the time being. But we shall see, because soon the tribe will be looking for new leaders, because once Nunuku, I think, passes away, they will kind of perhaps say, Lara, you don't have a mate. Perhaps you should not be the leader anymore. At which point she'll start probably pushing for her children, but it'll kind of come down to a period of uncertainty. So we'll have to see what comes of that period of uncertainty next time. There we go. And we'll get this. And continue gathering from these bushes. Continue gathering from these bushes. We'll have you can come down and help keep gathering, and you can come this way and start gathering here. And do we have anyone? We have someone who can come down and get this, I believe they're called stag moles. I'm not sure, though. And we'll send you back towards the middle of the island again, and we'll probably be heading out soon, because as far as moving to the next island, because I feel like Lara would probably try and push for that so that her children can perhaps achieve dominance on the next island. And she'd probably be kind of whispering to Nunuku, so many of the tribe members here have these horrible genetics. Why don't we send those of us who are more fit onwards, or something like that, and be very much pushing for them to leave so that her children have a better chance of being prominent in the next island. But I think these two as well, and I'm actually a Sentanu here to kill a stag mole, would perhaps be kind of concerned at what's going on and not so sure what to think of the expectations the tribe has placed on them. And we are adding some more story to this. It kind of just, with the melanism, it kind of just seemed, well, and even with our idea of having a more ruthless tribe, it kind of worked out. But I think they would be kind of whispering and saying, what do you think Lara is going to do to us? I know she doesn't like us, but do you think she'd try and kill us or chase us away or something? So they'd be kind of trying to figure out what to do. And, so we will leave the tribe here for now, but we will see them soon, hopefully tomorrow. And until then, this is Jay, over and out. I'll see you guys later.